The University of Detroit Mercy presents another brand new episode of Ask the Professor, the radio show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. Today's program was recorded using Zoom video conferencing technology.
The University Tower chimes, maybe a laptop chimes, bring in another session of Ask the Professor, the show in which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. I'm your host, Matt Mayo, and let me introduce to you our panel for today. We literally have no idea where he is. It's Professor Dave Chow.
Pleasure to be here. I'm actually up in Oscoda, Michigan, with Lake Huron behind me.
It's surprisingly blustery in the video, Dave, but we can't hear it on your mic.
Yeah, we don't hear a lot of waves or anything.
Thank you. Thank goodness, because I was concerned about the audio quality. I made sure with Brian that I was okay. If not, I was gonna run inside, do this from my laptop. But you know what? I got sun on me, not too much spray. The seagulls are okay, so far so good.
I am also entertaining the very real possibility that it's just a green screen and you got like a small oscillating fan in front of your desk. I know, Dave. I know. It's just funny.
Oh, no,
I wouldn't put it past you. Past you.
Actually, in the cottage, there's a fake beach scene on the wall. I thought about doing it from there if I had to. That's all. But no, I'll do it out here.
Awesome.
It's too nice. So, anywho.
Also in a fun place because it's got lots of books, it's Professor Beth Oldjar.
Good to be here. Hey.
Glad to have you. It was totally awesome. It's only we had faces for radio, as I've heard Dave say before. Your cat was perched perfectly on the back of your chair just a few seconds ago. It really was quite a scene.
And then she couldn't quite figure out what she wanted to do. So now she's sitting in the chair with me. I'm not kidding. Yeah.
She wants to be on the show. Can you blame her?
I'm just a ham. Come on. I'm a little ham.
15 minutes of fame.
Yep, exactly. So how was this week's courses treated you, Beth?
Fine. So far, I can't. Week 4, right? That we just finished.
Incredible. Yeah.
So yeah, things are going okay.
Nice. Continuing around the horn, I see Professor Jim Tubbs is back in
Hello.
Not black, but checkered. How's that?
The checkered, yeah. A checkered past, checkered present, you know.
How was the last week, Jim?
It's been pretty good. Pretty good. My classes are good. The weather unfortunately stayed hot until the day after my classes met.
Of course. Yeah.
As soon as it turned autumn on the calendar, the temperature just plummeted. But I'm kind of enjoying this now. It's nice.
There was no AC in Commerce and Finance today, which, with me, it doesn't matter. It'd be 30 below and I would be sweating. I'm not kidding you, but I was missing the AC a little bit.
Sure. Absolutely. All right. Continuing around the horn and finishing up. Last but most certainly not least, Professor Erin Bell is back with us.
Hi, everyone. I promise not to blurt out any errant answers. No, I can't make that promise.
We do it all the time. Yeah. What would the show be if people made that promise?
It would be silence all the time.
30 minutes of silence.
Yeah, exactly. What was the famous rock band that added an extra track to their record that was just like, 10 minutes of absolute silence? I know there's something out there about that.
There's a few. We actually had a really good conversation. I bet Dave Chow knows some of these like really cool Illuminati bands from the 90s in Detroit, but there's just like, like the Detroit space rock scene where suddenly you think the CD is over for half an hour and then it's just like noise and the band escapes me, but there's a few. I want to say like Radiohead might have done that at one point.
That sounds like Radiohead. Yeah.
No, awesome. and actually now if you want to talk about goofiness, back in my dad's coffee shop they used to have 3 minutes of silence on the jukebox.
Wow.
So you can actually pay for silence.
Oh, now
like
that's
that.
interesting.
So
you could actually talk to your date for 3 minutes.
You hope. Or you might want to throw in a couple of extra quarters for real loud. So
right.
Drown that woman out. She's droning me. So
Well, folks, I think I just opened up a nice little possible treasure chest of future questions because, this is a program where you send us questions regarding anything. If you stump the panel, you win a prize. If you don't stump the panel, you win a prize. You can send us the questions in a number of ways. Email us at atp@udmercy.edu. Find us on Facebook and Instagram, or listen on your favorite smart speaker by asking it to play Ask the Professor at University of Detroit Mercy. Nice little set of questions here. Ask the Professors. My name is Ray Faraj. I'm in Professor Oljar's Symbolic Logic. This is from almost exactly a year ago. I've attached a Word doc with 10 questions on one of my absolute favorite subjects. These actually sound pretty interesting. It's on motorcycles. He signs the message happily, Ray Faraj. So, and he was an absolute wonderful student, member of the Chem Club, even though he was an engineer. Is hopefully headed towards medical school now, but I'm pretty sure that he graduated about a year ago, or recently. So here we go. The theme for the trivia questions is motorcycles. Let's see. The first formal motorcycle manufacturing company was founded in what country?
Germany?
Germany.
No, that's not what it says here.
Switzerland.
England?
It says England, Jim. Yeah, it does. It says England. What was its name? That's a little bit esoteric. I'm not exactly sure I can even give you a clue. Just going to jump over. The first one is done for you. It was Hildebrand and Wolfmueller was the name of the first company in England. Yeah.
Which sounds German.
That sounds pretty German, actually.
Yeah.
Not a British company then. I don't know.
They migrated, they moved
Das
over.
Motorbike. Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
their rulers were Hanoverians. There was this weird they were all married to Germans and intermarried anyway. So maybe
There you go.
But
So the world's fastest production motorcycle, I think that means commercial production motorcycle, is made by a company that starts with the letter K from Japan. Do you know what it is?
Kawasaki.
It's Kawasaki.
Oh,
The
smart.
Ninja H2R is the world's fastest production, consumer production motorcycle. That's right. What is the fastest recorded speed, according to Guinness, that a motorcycle has ever gone in miles per hour?
Uh-oh. We need Kendra to settle this, won't we?
150.
It's
No.
quite a bit higher than that.
Oh,
Really?
Wow, okay.
220.
368.
368.
I'm giving this one to Professor Chow. 373.36 miles
Whoa.
per hour. I don't know if humans were ever meant to go that
Boy,
fast.
I'd hate to wipe out at that speed.
Did you folks see the movie? Did you see the movie? Was it the Last Indian with who was in that movie? I think it was Hannibal Lecter. Who played him?
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins. Yes.
I don't know that
No.
one.
The Last Indian. Great movie. Eccentric old man went out in the salt flats and just races Indian motorcycle.
Wow.
And he took a couple spills on that thing, and he ended up he was pretty beat up, but I guess he broke the land record back in the day.
Okay.
Huh.
Very
But the
interesting.
size, I'm puzzled because of the size of the engine
Right.
producing that speed. I'm
Right.
a little okay.
So they were going downhill with the wind at their backs. There was a big magnet waiting for them on the other side.
And they
Right.
had some dramatic gearing for sure.
Yeah, and it was a shot of a slingshot.
Yes, exactly. Hey, Props, what year was the great American motorcycle company Harley Davidson founded? A hint is fairly recently, over 100 years old.
I would say
1922.
1911.
Actually, this is 1903 here, so it's a pretty old company. And does anybody know the city where they were founded?
Milwaukee.
In Wisconsin.
Indianapolis, wasn't it?
It says Milwaukee. Yeah.
Oh, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, which I believe we all know
Yes.
means the good land. Yes, that's right. Ooh, wow. Apparently there are 12. Thanks, Ray. This is blowing my mind.
Oh no.
12 major motorcycle types is what it says here. Do you think you can name 5 of them? This will be tough.
Types as in manufacturers or
So I will
Well,
give one away, even though it probably was the most likely one for us to get. There is sort of a standard, chassis plus engine. There's one that's called, well, I'm
You
giving
can
this
get-
too much
You
away.
can get a
Chopper.
sidecar.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking of, the little sidecar riding.
You know,
around.
I'm going to give you that because I believe that almost always that's called a tourer, which is one of the things on the list. So let's say we've got two because I'm giving you the freebie.
You can get the ones with the really long handles.
Chopper, right? The,
Chopper.
Yeah.
A racing bike.
So I want to
bike?
say the choppers are usually referred to as what they have here is a cruiser. I'm really hoping that the motorcycle
Okay.
people don't get angry with me for
Well,
making these judgment calls.
We're gonna hear from those
We're gonna
motorcycles.
hear-
I can hear it now, Matt. They're gonna be on Eaton revving their engines in front of your house tonight.
Right.
If we could just get questions about Sons of Anarchy, the TV
Oh,
show, I'd be golden.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
so was it like cruiser, racing bike, ice bike, sidecar?
You know,
chopper?
getting closer. Also, you can go down the route of, because technically certain other conveyances are classified as motorcycles, even though we might chuckle a little bit in calling them
Oh.
that. Does that help?
Any bikes?
Scooters, a scooter.
Scooter is
trike?
on the list, and
Yeah.
moped
Vespa?
is actually separate.
Okay.
So that's our
Oh,
five
okay.
right there. Yeah.
Would a trike count as well as tricycle?
You know, it's
Like a
not
three-wheeler?
listed here.
Big
Um,
wheels. My big wheels.
They make a tricycle Harley.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. Yeah, they do. The ones we didn't mention were a sports, naked, sports
Ooh.
touring, dual sport, off-road, supermoto, and adventure. I mean, who knows with all this
Wait,
stuff,
no, hold
you know?
on.
The
Now, I'm-
Supermoto,
I'm-
was that a motocross bike?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
it is. Mhm.
Okay.
Actually, I'm more scared about the naked one.
Right. What does that mean?
Yeah, I know. Ooh,
It's just a muffler. You just ride a muffler. wherever you
I don't
go.
know if I want to ride a muffler. Ouch.
The basics.
Long
Ooh.
shot, professors, if you've been paying attention to the very, very subtle moves of most internal combustion engine companies towards electric in the last couple years, what is the namesake, the last name and the name of the company of the world's first electric motorcycle that is really catching on quite nicely?
Oh,
It's not a
God.
Honda, is
It
it?
is not. It's
No,
an
it-
independent label.
Is this the one, the triangular? I'm trying to remember. Not. God. Ah!
I have a
It's-
coworker here who's like totally into motorcycles, but he's not here. And I know that's like
Oh.
he listens, he's gonna be like, Aaron, that was so easy.
Phone a friend, phone a friend.
Tesla
Yeah.
doesn't make bikes, do they?
It doesn't say that here. It says that it's the Corbin company. Michael Corbin invented the first electric motorcycle. And that leads us to our last question. These were a lot of fun, Ray. Is there such a thing, true or false, as a hybrid motorcycle, both electric and gas powered?
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
I think
that's
that
what
would
it
be-
says. Mhm.
Yeah.
Good.
It is possible. It is possible. Kind of cool. All right, let's see what we got cooking here in our next set of questions. Ooh, great fun.
Uh-oh.
Dear profs, I think I'm overdue to send in questions. We've had some fun with a couple of what do these have in common questions before, so I decided to try my hand at a set. For each list, the fewer items you hear before correctly correlating the commonality, the more points you get, or something like that. I'm going to put that at the top of my next exam.
I was gonna say, what's the rubric on this thing?
Oh my
Jeez.
gosh. I'll trust your esteemed host to grade you justly and fairly. Oh, sure. As always, thanks for years of fun and info that drives out things like where I left my car keys. All the best, our good friend and question sender, Serial Nat Pike of Livonia, Michigan. Thanks for sending these in, Nat. What do the following 20th century celebrities all have in common? I will go slow so you can stop me or guess as we go through. Joey Bishop,
Rat
Jo-
Pack.
Joan Rivers.
Comedians.
Chad
Don-
late night
Carson.
TV shows.
Yeah, Johnny
Yep.
Carson.
I'm gonna give it to a combination of Jim and Dave. They've all hosted the Tonight Show
Mm.
to replace Johnny Carson more than 50 times. The list completes with Bob Newhart, David Brenner, McLean Stevenson, Jerry Lewis, and David Letterman himself. Yes, that's right. FYI, David Letterman, just 51 guest hosts.
Ah,
Joey
okay.
Bishop, 177 guest hosts.
Wow.
So
Crap.
he was on it quite a bit more. And of course,
How
Joan
many-
Rivers in second place.
How many for Joan?
It was 93. So she was up there,
Um,
way beyond everybody else but Joey Bishop. Okay, we'll try again. What do these musical performers all have in common? This is pretty interesting.
They had dinner at Dan Maggio's house. Oh,
Madonna, Dave Grohl, Justin Bieber, Iggy Azalea, Lady Gaga, Selena Gomez, Paula Abdul, and last but most not least, Pink.
They were all born in Michigan.
You know, it's not a commonality of where they were born or their something about their bodies or how they were raised.
Pseudonyms?
That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good, but that's not what it says here. I like that as a guess, Aaron.
David Grohl.
Oh yeah, Dave Grohl. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm thinking Pink.
And I try not to think about Justin Bieber. So
The
They started as something other than what they ended up as professionally.
well,
that's
were
another
they
great guess, but
They
that's not
started
what it
younger than
says here.
25.
Oh, that's
Mickey Mouse Club members or something like that?
Yeah, right.
Or
um
they had bologna for lunch.
So let me give it to you this way, and I'm afraid this might be the end because I really can't think of anything that wouldn't immediately give something like this away. But when I was growing up, my generation, when we heard about the Paula Abdul part of this, it was quite frankly a lot of late night TV fodder. It was a matter of comedy and hilarity, if that helps at all.
they were hosts or something on a
They're,
SNL.
they're short. They're choreographers. They had music videos with cartoon animals.
No, you know what it was?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Sorry,
MC
Aaron.
Was it MC Scat Cat? Or
Yes,
what
it
was
was.
It was Opposites Attract. I remember
Opposites
that
Attract.
video.
Who'd have thought?
These performers have all been involved in high profile falling off or through stages during their concerts.
Oh my
Good
God.
grief.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Bananas right there.
I never would have guessed that, but how
Yeah.
terrible for them.
It's
Like-
it's unfortunate.
And I'm
It's
kind of
unfortunate.
surprised about Dave Grohl. Well,
Yeah.
Well,
Brings the intensity.
yeah. Well, considering he was also a drummer for the longest time too. So I mean,
Right,
Right
I'm like,
about
did he-
Madonna.
yeah. Did he fall off the drum kit?
well, I think Madonna fell off of her bra. So who knows? I mean,
Yes, exactly. This one is going to be one to make the brain cells go wild. So stick with me here. It's a longer list. It's about twice as long as the last one. What do the following countries have in common? Vatican City, Paraguay, Monaco, Mongolia, Bolivia, the Marshall Islands, Mali, Belarus, Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, Kyrgyzstan, Ivory Coast, Andorra, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Burundi, Central African Republic, Guatemala, Chad, Tajikistan, Sweden, Uzbekistan, Sao Tome and Principe. All of these countries, these 22 countries I just listed, have something in common. If you think about recent world events, you might get there.
currency.
No,
Some medical.
nothing
issue?
medical.
Oh, okay.
Commonwealths or
Oh, we're getting closer,
Yeah, I
Professor
was-
Bell.
colonized?
Monarchies?
Getting
I was-
closer.
I was thinking British colonies, actually.
No.
Aha.
Vatican
Getting
City.
close.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, the
Commonwealth of-
Vatican, right?
Yeah. High divorce rate. Oh, no.
I've heard about the divorce rate in Mali. It's a killer. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, the one in Vatican City is just brutal. I mean, all those bishops getting divorced.
Something about sovereignty.
yep. Getting
Okay.
closer.
Well, I just want the credit. Can I?
Have I justly given enough clues? You know what? These are the only modern countries, as of the printing of this email, which apparently was the 18th of September of 2022, who have never been invaded or governed by the British Empire.
Never.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing, but it's
That's-
only 22.
Only 22
Oh
of the
my-
144 countries of the world.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
man.
you know, there were the Romans and then there was the British. It's
Yep.
Well,
That's
the
right.
Union Jack gets around, okay?
Mhm.
Well, and probably the weather has something to
Yes.
do with their colonizing genius, right? They're
Yes.
always wanting to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Or the
exactly.
food. The food, it's the food. There's no bangers and mash in Monaco. So.
And with
this-
Liechtenstein and Luxembourg, it was just too small to bother.
Yeah, just don't bother. Just don't bother.
Exactly.
Professors, what unusual, this has got a pretty good hint already built into it. What unusual trait do the following famous people have in common? Ben Franklin, Leonardo da Vinci, Albert Einstein, LeBron James, Dan Aykroyd.
They lefties? Are they all left-handed?
Almost there, Professor Oljar.
Mm.
Ooh.
Ambidextrous?
Yeah, they can use
Oh,
both
cool.
of their hands.
Mm.
Yes,
Well,
absolutely.
We can all use both of our hands, but just,
They can write with both of their
Oh.
hands. How's that? I mean, I suppose I
And
can
with
write
Da
with my
Vinci
left
backwards.
hand too.
yeah, but Emmett's gonna have better penmanship than you, though.
Yes, and that's saying something, let me tell you. Holy smokes. Oh my gosh.
Are we
What-
having penmanship issues with Emmett?
Well, I mean, possibly.
Possibly.
Is cursive ruining the poor kid right now?
No, it's the same with all of my boys. They can knock out cursive like nothing, but then they're expected to print for exams. And yeah, with the,
Oh.
without revealing too much, a little dose of dysgraphia makes it very difficult to write. Let me just put it that way.
Well,
Oh, dear
hey, at
Lord.
least they know cursive. I got a bunch of students who tell me they were never taught that.
That's right.
That's not being taught in
It's true.
school anymore.
No, it's true.
Well, the schools quit doing it, and then a lot of them picked it back up again.
Mm.
Oh, good.
because I think they realized. I mean, imagine a child that wanted to study history; they would
Right.
not be
Oh,
able
God.
to read any original documents if they couldn't read cursive.
That's true.
But why did they have to have their exams printed?
I'm guessing that it's something to do with a universal writing technique that'll be easier to grade, but I'm not
Hmm.
the judge, I'm just an educator. I'm not an educator.
When I was in
Yeah.
school, once we
Oh, you
learned
know.
cursive, we had to use it.
Professors, one more question, and it's a fun one. The following cities all have something in common: Boston, Massachusetts; Cleveland, Ohio; Mexico City, Mexico; Newark, New Jersey; New Orleans, Louisiana; Philly, PA; San Francisco, California; and last but not least, Toronto, Ontario.
Decent water supply?
No? That's going to be a rough go for Mexico City, I would say.
Yes.
Oh, Toronto's not that much better.
The really long
Oh.
pipe.
Mm.
If
No.
something were true, if the world was a little bit different, Detroit could have been on this list. Detroit used to have something that all of these cities currently have and are continually running into
Salt mines?
2022.
Oh,
I'm
that's-
sorry, Jim.
Salt mines.
Cable cars.
No, that's a good guess, though.
Cable cars?
Oh,
Yeah, it's streetcars, it's trolleys.
Streetcar-
Yeah,
Trolleys,
that's right.
yes. Trams.
I don't know
we
if,
get ours to Mexico City.
That's
And
right.
San
If you
Francisco,
knew
yeah.
that we
Mexico
sold
City.
all of our streetcars, as my wife reminds me of as the historian all the time, we sold them to Mexico City, for a cold cup of coffee or something like that.
Did
You
we
know, when
keep
they were
them?
repaving Livernois, it was really a shame to watch all of those rails coming up, and they were just getting rid of them when they, could have reinstated the
true.
streetcars.
right.
If you guys
Love that.
want, I'll pry the ones off the queue line, give them back. I mean, oh God, we hate those things downtown.
Well, they are kind of a pain to drive over.
Yep.
I never know what the rules of traffic are with that. I've been carpooling with my son, and I'm like, do I get behind it? Do I pass? I don't know. It's nerve wracking when you're on the road.
It is. It is.
Try being a bicyclist downtown.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Or try
awful.
being stopped at a stoplight when you're straddling the queue line tracks and the queue line is coming up behind you.
That's not good.
Not
Oh.
good at all. Hey, professors, we're going to our favorite place to go, the Burroughs Family Imponderables.
Oh, boy.
It's definitely one that we've never had before because it's super laser focused. What's your favorite bread?
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Because
I
I'm
like
just going to
bread.
throw this out there. Whenever I get a chance, There's this tiny little independent bread store in Petoskey, Michigan, and it makes this Kalamata olive and rosemary olive oil bread that is just, I could have grilled cheeses made with that bread every day, 10 times a day, and never get sick of it. It's just wonderful.
See, Matt, I thought for sure you were going to go Trenery toast.
Trenery toast, sure. You know, you can buy that at Westbourne every once in a while, right?
Okay.
Wow.
Favorite bread.
The Crust Bakery in Fenton,
Yes.
whose products are now being carried by Williams Sonoma.
Yep.
They make a sourdough bread that is the best bread for toast. It's $7 a loaf at Westbourne, and I still buy it.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's the best bread for toast ever.
Okay.
Awesome.
Treat yourself.
Awesome.
Or a really good dark rye. That's the alternative.
Aaron, what were you going to say?
I was saying there's really no wrong answer, and I feel like I'm being pulled between my, European ethnicities. But I would go with Ackroyd's Bakery when I was a kid. My grandma would get these like thick, it's like just white soda bread, and she'd cut me about an inch slice with like butter and jam. You can see
that is hard to top. Ackroyd's is hard to top.
Really good. But then I do always appreciate a Polish rye, maybe from Hamtramck. I think I like the butter as much as I like the bread, which is probably revealing something about me, but I'm really hungry too. So
That's awesome. Somebody,
I love challah bread too.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
That's a good one.
Oh, you're
So
killing me.
good for
Sorry.
French toast. Amazing French toast.
Yes, it is.
Now for me, I don't remember the bread brand, but I remember when I was in college, I used to work in downtown Birmingham. On a Saturday, we'd go to Albans Bread and Basket at 15 and Woodward.
Albans.
Pick up a quart of the clam chowder and rye bread by the loaf off the wagon. I have no idea what brand it was, but we just tear it up in little pieces. Didn't care if it was sliced or not, but that rye bread was to die for.
So the family story in our waning minutes here is that Leslie and I had gotten engaged, and the time had come to go scope out some places, both for rehearsal dinner and then of course reception. And I'm just tagging along. I'm putting this together, building the plane as I'm flying. And we had lunch at Albans. And I'm like, this is really nice. And it had been a number of years since I'd been there because I had moved away for grad school. And I'm like, yeah, I could see us doing what we need to do here. And they're like, oh, no. Like Albans is just a great place to have lunch. We're not considering this place. We're going to have all the meetings while we consider this at Albans. Yeah. It's kind of sad. I mean, it's a very nice location, had a very distinct architecture. I believe it is an OBGYN clinic.
I know it is.
But Albans Big Wheel, right? That was the sign.
And the Suburban. Do you remember the sandwiches, Matt?
Oh yeah, but that's what they were known for. That was the Big Wheel.
The Big Wheel. Oh God.
I worked there for a hot minute in the late 1990s. Again, because of my love of bread, sandwiches, I don't know, but it was a fun place to work. And
that's cool.
And then clam chowder.
Yes.
Oh.
Every single time, no matter what the favorite is, we somehow end up with food, even if it has nothing to do with food, Oh my gosh, I'm looking at our timer and I'm afraid the time has come for us to say goodbye. Aaron.
Goodbye.
Jim.
Goodbye.
Beth.
Goodbye.
And Dave.
See ya.
And now these words from University of Detroit Mercy. Ask the Professor is transcribed in, all of our homes, but usually it's in the Briggs Building in the Department of Communication Studies in the College of Liberal Arts and Education at University of Detroit Mercy's McNichols campus. Ask the Professor is produced and technically directed by Michael Jason and Brian Masonville, and our executive producer is Professor Jason Roach. Until next week, I'm your host, Matt Mayo.